Today on Weekend Workbench, I'm digging deep to show you how to fix your bathroom sink stopper and unclog the drain.
Fishing for swamp rats.
Then I'll hop in the tub and learn to change that drain and caulk the perimeter. And then it's off to the Ram Truck Workshop, where our expert Alex has dreamed up a creative side table made from an old Chicago church.
Yeah, I think that'll happen.
Mount up! Weekend Workbench starts now.
I never knew it was this easy.
Let's go for it.
The most important thing is to have the right tools.
This is a great, easy do-it-yourself project.
I can't wait to see what I'm going to learn today. Weekend Workbench is sponsored by Ram. I am heading north in the Ram truck to meet up with Michael Goldstein, aka the Mensch with the Wrench. He's going to show me how to tackle another DIY project. I am actually sitting on the John right now. You have the sink open, ready to go. Why don't you tell us what you're going to do in here today?
We're gonna clean out our drain, which is inevitable. Everyone's hair always goes down, slows down the draining. You can pour chemicals down it. It only helps if there's a full blockage.
Yeah.
If you have hair and a slight clog where water's still trickling down slowly, pouring the chemicals down is kind of pouring your money down the drain. So what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you how to get the stopper out so we can clean that out. The other thing, our stopper's not even working. So I can pull that up, but the stopper's not going up or down. So I'm gonna show you how to fix that as well.
All Michael needs from his toolbox is a homemade drain cleaner. His is an old barbecue skewer, but you could use a wire hanger. Or buy an actual drain cleaner from the hardware store. Yes, they exist. You'll also need a bag for any gunk that comes out of the drain and some paper towels. You might need pliers to loosen or tighten connections, but you should be able to do these by hand.
Fishing for swamp rats.
Exactly, we're gonna find them, I hope. So for starters, what we have is we have the rod, which you might be able to see back here is just going up and down.
Okay.
That's going to attach to our stopper,
Sure.
which is an arm. So basically you have a vertical rod and a horizontal rod, and they're supposed to connect at this point and go up and down, and that's what makes the stopper work.
Okay.
In this case, they're not connected, so we're gonna have to repair that. Before we do that, though, we're gonna clean out our drain since it's all disconnected. To do that, there's a nut back here, just on the back of our drain pipe. So we're just gonna unscrew it, and that's gonna pull out our horizontal rod. We're just gonna clean that off. Now we can pull out our stopper. So now that we have this piece out and we have our stopper out, we are gonna go find a treasure.
Find a treasure. I hope it's nothing moving or alive.
As do I. So we're gonna stick the rod down here. This is actually very clean, so we're not gonna catch too much stuff.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint. But what's happening is I'm sticking the rod down the hole in the middle of the sink, and it's coming down all the way here. So what happens is when you get a hair clog, it's usually catching on this rod, which is what's going through this pipe.
Sure.
And the hair is just accumulating down here. And once you get a little bit, you know, it all just hangs on, and that's why your drain slows down. So this is all done cleaning. We're gonna clean this off, and then we are going to go back and reassemble. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna hold this one. So right now I'm just trying to line up the rod with the hole that I showed you in the bottom of the stopper, and you gotta get it spot on.
Do you just feel it when it's there, or?
Well, I won't be able to do that.
Okay.
You'll feel that it's connected. All right, jackpot, we just got it. So now we're lined up, so now it's gonna go up and down. So we got the pieces reconnected, and now I'm just screwing back on the nut. You don't wanna do it too tight, because then it won't allow the stopper to go up and down, but you don't want it too loose so you don't get any drips. Now that it's back on, you can turn the water on without having to worry about any leaks. So now that we have that all squared away, we're gonna move on to reconnecting the rod to the stopper.
Okay.
So it'll actually go up and down. So this is a clip that's gonna go on our horizontal rod here, and it goes at the end. And right here you can see this is our vertical piece that goes up and down. So this rod's just gonna fit in one of these holes.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of trial and error. You just have to see which one is gonna work. We're gonna start with the one it's on. So you put the clip on, then you put the vertical rod on.
Seriously, I'm glad I have an expert that has to get down there and do the dirty work.
All right, so then you just clip on the back, and now we're gonna test it and see. There we go. Let's make sure that it fills up. And you wanna make sure it drains. So we're all set there. We're gonna drain it.
Sweet, I learned something new. In under 15 minutes and for $0, which is a price I always like, We now have a clear drain with a working stopper. Plus, this project was easy, so there's really no excuse not to try it yourself. The sink looks pretty good, but we're only half finished in the bathroom. Up next, the mensch with a wrench
Do you just carry that around all the time?
is gonna help me change the drain and shower head in the tub and teach me how to caulk. Need the 411 on a DIY home project? Check out our website at cltv.com/workbench for step-by-steps and how-to videos to help you do it yourself. We've already fixed and cleaned the bathroom sink drain. Michael Goldstein is back to help me fix another part of my morning routine. What are the odds he's fixing me breakfast? The mensch has me back in the bathroom for our next project. And before we can get a splishin' and a splashin', we've got some work to do.
So we're gonna do a few things over here. We're first gonna replace our shower head, give it a big rain flow shower head. Down here, we're gonna replace our overflow cover, which is gonna match our new drain since this one isn't working properly. And finally, we're just gonna caulk around the edge of the tub.
For this project, we need bubbles, a loofah. Wait, no, not yet. First, we'll need the new shower head, the drain and overflow kit, a wrench, a screwdriver, needle nose pliers, plumber's tape, plumber's putty, and silicone caulk. Then, bubbles, a loofah, and a rubber ducky. First up, the shower head.
So on this one, you want to avoid trying to scratch the shower head.
Okay.
So in this case, I'm just using a smooth-sided wrench.
Do you just carry that around all the time? You have to, otherwise it's false advertising,
That's right. So we're just gonna loosen that up a little bit, and then we can do it by hand here. Take off the old one. Take off the old plumber's tape,
Okay.
and we're going to put some new plumber's tape on. So when you do the plumber's tape, you wanna wrap it the same way that you're gonna be putting on the shower head, so righty-tighty. So we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna do about 3 or 4 wraps, and you wanna make sure it overlaps. What this does is it makes sure it gets a nice snug fit and helps prevent any leaks.
After the new plumber's tape goes on, Michael just screws on the new shower head. That's all. Simple, right? But don't skip the plumber's tape, or you'll spring leaks at the connection point.
We're gonna test it once we get the drain taken care
You
of.
sure you don't want me to turn it on right now?
I'm all right for now.
All right.
Showered this morning.
Next, we turn our attention to the drain plug and overflow plate.
They are pretty universal. What this one comes with is a bracket.
Okay.
Because right here we just have a center screw, which is gonna hold our overflow plate. But sometimes on older tubs, they don't have that. They're gonna have 2 screw holes on the side.
Okay.
And this one comes with a plate that you just mount like that, and it converts 2 holes to 1 hole.
Oh, okay.
So you just put in the new one.
Oh, that sounds simple enough.
Exactly.
So what is this overflow for?
So behind this is a pipe that runs down for the shower drain.
Sure.
This is exactly what it sounds like, an overflow. You can see right here there's a little gap. So this will sit with the gap at the bottom, and water will literally overflow into here. So next we're gonna remove the old drain.
Okay.
This one, there's gonna be a screw down here, which you can't see. So this is the screw I was telling you about, but if you ever have issues with your drain not going up or getting stuck, it probably has to do with the screw. So you might be able to just adjust that.
The mensch uses a screwdriver to remove the old stem and needle nose pliers to carefully unscrew the rest of the drain mount. Then he wipes up the old putty.
So now we have our new drain, and this one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
This one has a push button.
Okay.
So it works the same idea, but instead of having to screw it down, this one just pushes up and down. So we're gonna take the drain part out for now. We're gonna take out the stopper. This is some plumber's putty. We're gonna roll it together like a snake. And then we're just gonna wrap it around here, and this is gonna give it a good seal to the tub. And then we're just gonna thread that in by hand. And then we're going to take our pliers. So that's giving us a good seal, and you wanna make sure that you get it down nice and tight. We're just gonna clean out this little bit of excess. We're gonna take our new drain, and it just threads in the same way as the old one.
Okay.
Done. We test both the shower head and the drain. No leaks, good seal, good drain. Once the tub is dry, it's caulking time.
So I'm just gonna cut this at a 45-degree angle. Make sure that we have a good tip. And then you have to puncture the seal.
Okay.
So just stick a pin down there. This caulking gun has one. And you're ready to rock.
You just looked like the Terminator when you did that, man.
Just gonna do a bead across, and then the trick is a smooth, clean fingertip. They sell all these tools and stuff, but I found the best thing is just a finger. A lot of people miss this step,
Yeah.
and then the caulk doesn't seal to anything. It just sits there as a glob.
The mensch caulks all around the tub area, and this project is over. At $65 and in less than an hour, those were 3 easy fixes for the price of 1. I've spent a lot of time in the bathroom on this episode of Weekend Workbench. But when we come back, I get to stretch my legs and my imagination at the Ram Truck Workshop.
You realize the whole time you're talking, I'm just thinking, give me that power tool.
That's right, we're revving up the power tools next. While we're gone, see how many things you can like and retweet on our Facebook and Twitter pages. First one to 50 wins. Ready? Go. What's better than a DIY partner who helps you get it done? With a high-resolution Park View backup camera system and a Ram Control Center 7-inch multi-view display, you won't miss a step on your next project with a Ram 1500. Already today we fixed, cleaned, changed, and caulked. But now I'm leaving the bathroom, jumping into my Ram, and heading to meet a salvage expert at the Ram Truck Workshop.
This is alley carpentry, we call it.
Okay, alley car.
Yeah.
He's got a special project involving creativity and power tools. We are here in the Ram Truck Workshop at the Rebuilding Exchange. This is Alex Enerson. He is a salvage expert here at the Rebuilding Exchange. Alex, what do we got here?
So today we're gonna turn this old structural timber into this kind of nifty little end table or side table. So we have an old 8x6. It's structural timber. It's actually eastern white pine, which is a really great wood for building and shaping. I think that this stuff was actually salvaged from the deconstruction of a church.
Really?
On Kimball Avenue
So
in
it's
Chicago.
spiritual too. You're gonna bring in a
Lots
little
of spirit.
spiritual feeling into your house.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to take some divine intervention to turn this old beam into a piece of furniture. But Alex knows his stuff, so I'm following his lead. And materials like this are what the Rebuilding Exchange is all about. Beams and old growth wood just waiting for someone to find a creative new use for it. To make this transformation, we'll need a steel brush, a soft bristled brush, a reciprocating saw, an orbital sander, a drill, and some 3-inch drywall screws. Since we're using power tools, you'll also want to bust out that safety gear.
All right, so the first thing we have to do is cut this beam into unequal lengths.
Okay.
I think we're gonna make the first one the large one. Let's do it right about 22. I think we're pretty much ready to cut. Let's get the saws all up. I think I'm gonna let you take the first cut because it's on your side. Yeah.
All right.
You're a pro now, right?
Not yet, but this is a pretty easy tool to use. Alex shows me how to keep it under control while I cut.
There you go. Nice and hard.
And then he finishes it off for me.
Boom.
This is the first part of your table.
So now we have 3 more of these cuts, right?
Yep,
Alrighty.
let's do it.
We tag team the rest of these cuts, making 4 uneven pieces that eventually will screw together. But first up, something Alex likes to call stock prep.
Really, we just want to get the dirt off.
You want it to look vintage
Yeah,
type?
all we want to do is kind of get it clean. Get it clean enough to finish and it look good in the living room.
Alex and I safety gear up and start with a light once over with a steel brush. Then we go a little bit harder with a soft brush and stop right there.
You know, with a project like this, it's really kind of up to you how far you want to go in cleaning it up. We're trying to kind of strike a middle ground.
Okay.
Already, just a couple minutes of work, it's looking way better. You can start to see the shine of the wood in there again.
The next step is to work on the end grain with an orbital sander. And this surface we do want to work hard on.
Remember, this is a table and it's made of 4 of these pieces. And They have to be flat enough to stand upright. These are looking pretty flat. Again, most of your work's done at 80 grit.
Okay.
But since it is going to be furniture, we should sand it up at 120 and at 220. Or the higher grit passes can be quicker.
We sand the end grain of all 4 pieces with an 80, 120, and 220 grit, getting them looking smooth and flat.
That's enough sanding for me for a while. So our 4 pieces are prepped and beautiful. We
Okay.
could kind of dust them off a little bit.
Now's the fun part. We have to assemble this into some sort of table, right?
Something resembling furniture, yeah.
Yes.
You kind of gotta mess around with it to kind of figure out where you want to be.
Okay.
But, I mean, I kind of like the effect where your knockouts are showing. They're kind of on the outside, like that. Yeah, I think that'll happen.
Once we've got our layout where we want it, we fasten it together. Wherever he can, Alex tries to hide the pilot holes by screwing into the knockouts.
You can put as many screws as you want in this thing, but I think we're gonna stick to basically 2 per side, kind of zipper it up a little bit.
I just learned something new. Thank you.
It's a creative project, so just kind of play with it until it feels right. It looks good.
Again, there's no plan for creative custom furniture. But seeing this table come together shows just how simple it is and how few rules you need to follow to create a custom piece yourself. In the end, all it has to do is hold your drink and look good, right? We spent about $75 on lumber and supplies in 3 hours in the Ram Truck workshop. I'd mark this one as moderately difficult, but still think it's a great do-it-yourself project. What an excellent way to keep old lumber out of the landfill. Gotta love the Rebuilding Exchange. Don't pack up your toolbox just yet. When we come back, the Mensch returns to have a catch. A ball catch, that is, with some free-swinging French doors. I've checked a lot off our to-do list today on Weekend Workbench. The Mensch with a wrench showed me how to fix a bathroom sink stopper and clean the drain. Then he gave me the rundown on replacing bath fixtures and recaulking the tub. And finally, my guy Alex showed me how easy it was to turn an old Chicago ceiling joist into a creative custom end table. But before we go, Michael Goldstein has one last quick fix.
If you have French doors like these, like a lot of the newer construction around the city, oftentimes the ball catch at the top is going to raise or lower itself. So the door either won't close in this case, or it won't stay closed once you get it to catch. A lot of people don't even realize these exist. Simple fix, you just screw this down, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and you adjust it until it closes properly, and you're all set. That's this week's quick fix.
Tackling a DIY project is always fun. But remember, if you're having any apprehensions whatsoever, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Call a professional.
Promotional consideration is provided by the Rebuilding Exchange. Find reclaimed building materials and learn more about sustainable reuse in Chicago at rebuildingexchange.org. And Mensch with a Wrench. Visit menschwrenchchicago.com for more information. Weekend Workbench is sponsored by Ram. Guts, glory, Ram.